and arms, and find a comfortable place to rest your hands. Gently close your eyes and soften your forehead, temples, and the tiny muscles of your eyelids. Release any tension around your jaw and your entire face. Now, gently turn your attention to your breath. Observe it without anticipating it. Just allow each natural breath to arrive and pass away. Now, let us begin by silently repeating. Now, let us begin by silently repeating these phrases, and as you repeat them, allow them to sink in and resonate through your whole body. May I be free of bias. Let go of our favorable or unfavorable views and ideas. Repeating again, may I be free of bias. Let go of our favorable or unfavorable views and ideas. May I be free of attachment. Means that we are able to let go of expectations and our grasping nature. Repeating it again, may I be free of attachment means that we are able to let go of expectation and our grasping nature. May I live in equanimity means that we observe whatever is in our experience without a reaction of craving or aversion, thus freeing us of misery and creating a peaceful mind. Repeating it again, may I live in equanimity means that we observe whatever is in our experience without a reaction of craving or aversion, thus freeing us of misery and creating a peaceful mind. I invite you now to take a couple of deep breaths with me, with an understanding every incoming breath energizes you and every outgoing breath relaxes you. Take two nice deep long breaths and exhale slowly. Now, I invite you to connect with the understanding that you, the students of management of IIT Roorkee and others who have joined today, are blessed human beings of the superpower with enormous willpower, resilience to handle the opportunities that life provides, with positive action, integrity, and calmness. With this sense of gratefulness and gratitude, may I invite you to come back to wherever you are. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Great.
Thank you, sir.
So
Thank
can
you,
I
sir.
get a
Thank
can
you,
I get a
sir.
reaction? How was it? So you all can say whether you liked it or not. L for
Yes.
like, D for dislike in the chat.
Yes.
This time Saurav Kumar stole the show. He had put 4L. Okay, great. So let me try and explain what I'm going to cover, so that I'm going to say that upfront. I'm going to cover what is digital leadership, what I have learned. I'm going to cover why is it important and how to do it. What are those top 10, 12 traits that are required, with some examples from what I have gone through. This is what I'm going to cover. And then I have a bonus which I just learned last Sunday, which I'll give it to you. And just to acknowledge quickly the Upeka grounding session which I did, that was created by a guy called Girish Trivedi, who is my fellow coach. So we do some knowledge sharing every week. He's the one who created it. So we just adopted it as a group when we do coaching. So I just replicated it. Thank you, Girish, wherever you are. Great. So what is digital leadership? This is what I understand. Exhibiting traditional leadership traits with curiosity, passion, learnability with agility, and ready to change mindset. I'm repeating it. Exhibiting traditional leadership traits, along with that, curiosity, meaning, am I curious? Like, I'm extremely curious to be amongst all of you. Whatever I'm going to make, I've got a note and pen. That's going to be my lifelong learnings. So I'm more excited and curious amongst you, to be amongst you. And also, suppose I go to a class where I learn, I need to go with a belief that I don't know anything. Like yesterday, I attended a small webinar on virtual digital presentation by a lady called Preeti Sabarwal. So the one, like the camera, the way I'm doing it now, I was not doing it earlier. That I learned yesterday evening at about 4ish. So she told me you must always watch the camera while doing the virtual presentation. So I was not doing it. I was just doing it as it comes. So that was the learning for me yesterday. So that's one example of curiosity to me, which I do. Passion. So, so I'll give you an example. Unlike most of you, you all would be using the digital media at least 8 to 12 hours, if not more, on a daily basis. because of the compulsions of the studies, of the future prospects, connecting to people, etc. I do not. I do, spend some time in Twitter, LinkedIn, etc., followed by a little bit in Facebook. But the amount of learning I'm able to get is what is extremely important. What I love with passion is what I see. Like anything to do with change management, anything to do with sales, anything to do with customer experience, anything to do with coaching, because that excites me, anything to do with personality assessment. Those are the things I really get excited, and I do it with passion. And when I say that I do it with passion, I'm just giving an example. I'm sure all of you will have some example which you could give about each one of your passion. So just to add to you, that may not be digital, that is physical. So I do something called 108 sun salutations every Sunday. So yesterday night, I slept at about 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. And honestly, we couldn't prepare because there was something that happened yesterday, which we could not really spend time in preparing it. So got up at about 4:30 a.m. and did that. It takes about 1 hour and 15 minutes. And had a webinar with my digital mentor called Arun Shivanand. I bounced off my thoughts with him at 7:30. Honestly, that's the passion, because I never wanted to break it, because that's my lifelong commitment to myself. Every Sunday I will do 108 salutations, sun salutations. And then I had to do that. I think that's the passion. Because I loved it, the passion came. So I will allow you to really figure out what's your passion. Learnability. So, when I started with a company called Modi Xerox in April 1985, we used to sell photocopiers. So where you press a green button and a paper will come out. A green button, a paper will come out. That's all copier used to do. But our sales guys used to sell in hundreds of numbers. In the first month, about 10, then 20, 30. But trust me, the kind of selling that happened in the analog time, because they were not connected to computer. Those times, computer was a, how do I put it? It was the seventh world wonder. I never saw a computer at the time. We have seen, printers. That also those, what is that called? Those electronic. Earlier it used to be electronic typewriter. Then we started getting some printer. That was much ahead in time. Come then, we changed to digital. Like Xerox changed itself into digital. Anything that Xerox produced worldwide post 1991 was all digital. But we were still selling analog in India, because Indian market were wanting only analog. But however, we couldn't cope up with what Xerox was offering from worldwide. And came a competition, so I don't want to name that competition. And we were forced to adopt digital mindset in a matter of 6 months. Otherwise, we would have all lost the job. So everybody, including those in the back end and those who were selling, we learned digital skills, in the sense the analog to digital, the connected copier, printer, fax, in a matter of 6 months. The entire workforce, including the partner, we all went through a program, how to do it, how to give demo, how to sell it, and we all learned it in 6 months. That's how we caught up. So to me, that's the learnability. I'm giving a 1991 example. One can give even today. And I talked about agility. So if I would have delayed it even by 1 year, then the risk is not of the company with which I work with. No, because there are more number of people who are inside the company, and there were enough number of people who are outside the company who can come and take my place and do the job fantastically, much better than what I was doing. So for my own sustenance, I had to be agile and I had to be learning. So that is, to me today, extremely important. And When I said ready to change mindset, this is something in which there is absolutely no choice. To me, it is the leadership is currently ageless. What do I mean by ageless? As you get out, in about 2 years' time, some of you may be owning your own startups, or some of you may be a CEO of a company, because I do see some of you had prior experience before you joined IIT Roorkee. Some of you may be functional heads. So you may have to deal with people across all ages, right from across the world, people would have come in, mindset, people who have spent 30 years, 20 years. So that's where the ready to change mindset is there. So there is absolutely no choice to my mind on this count at all for anyone, irrespective of age or wherever you are from. I'm from a village. Unlike most of you are from town, I'm from a village called Sirgari in Tamil Nadu. So that's where I studied most of my schooling and college. So if I couldn't have adopted, say, to Delhi in 1984, and I almost, had a near experience to, death when Mrs. Indira Gandhi died. When I was in a bus, we were all thrown out, and suddenly something came up and the bus went poof. So we were all out, about 12 of us. And then that made me actually fearless, because you have come out of your hometown, so there is no real constraint for me to move anywhere in India. So then when an opportunity came to me to go to Chandigarh in 1989, there were a lot of people who said, no, Chandigarh is a very unsafe place, there is terrorism. So I didn't know I didn't know anything what was happening. I said, Chandigarh is a beautiful city. That's the only thing I knew. And I was proved right. And I had one of my best experience of that 4 years, where we had eventful issues regarding, meeting the terrorists once or twice with the, state-of-the-art gun, or Mandal Commission, where we had bigger issue, where we had to close our office, but still our team delivered, their objectives in terms of sales, installation, post-sales revenue and collection. I think those were the moments which probably helped me to make sure all this what I said. So digital to me is just a word, because the speed has gone up like tremendously. As I am talking to you, there would have been a lot of innovations that would have happened. So obviously we have to absorb it and then use what we can do. So I'm now going to allow few minutes to ask. I can take 1 or 2 questions if that's fine, or if any one of you have a different point of view on digital leadership, please put it on chat. More than happy for all of you to read. I'm not going to read it out. It's for you to really state that. I'll wait for a pause for a minute or so. You can even comment that does it make sense, or do you have anything else in mind, or your definition is different? Please state so. No harm. I'm not going to judge it at all. It's absolutely no marking. It's a open mind exam, so not even an open book exam. Please state what you like. कोई तो बताओ मेरे भाई, डायलॉग बोला आप लोगों ने.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, do you remember a specific experience where you wish that your organization had done something differently?
Can you repeat the question, Nathan?
Sir, do you remember any experience in your life where you wish that your organization had done something differently? If you had to do it, then how would you do it?
Yeah. Thank you, Nathan. So, frankly speaking, Nathan, my own life philosophy has been controllable. So I had never expectation what others had to do. So the organization was always me. because I had to do what I have to do in a way in which it produces results. Hence, I never had a clash of that opinion or an expectation from someone else. So, for example, I'll give you a small example. I was heading Rajasthan for a company called Modi Xerox in the year 98 to 2000. And there, typically in a photocopier company, about 60 to 70% of the business comes from government, because we had rate contracts, and then that's where the business comes. That year, government of Rajasthan banned photocopier. Anything happens, they will ban the photocopier. So that was, that's somehow the thought earlier. I don't know now. So that means we would have lost about 60% of the business. So we quickly got in, all our sales managers, the sales people. Then we took our suspect cards. Suspect cards is where our people used to go and find out whether they need a printer, fax, copier, etc. So we had all the suspect calls. So somebody punched it quickly in about 2 days. And there were two young MBA, like the pass outs. Those two girls were from Bikaner. I don't remember the Institute of Management. Their marriage got fixed about, I think there was a 3-4 months gap. They wanted to really experience a corporate world, and it suited us because they were ready to immediately passed out. So we did a direct mailer, which is it went by that was not a speed post. Those times the courier used to be really, really reliable, unlike now. So all the 3,000 mailers went, direct mailers, went in the customer's name. In about 2 days' time, we had a mechanism where it got delivered or not. If about 300 comes in, so these guys who gave the address, they had it, because there would have been a review by their sales manager to them. Why that happened? Because they have got the data, the authenticity of the data. Then immediately those telecallers called, and then the guys really approached, and then we got in a 1 year time, we got about 600 numbers. We managed about 98% of the plan. So to me, that's something which our team did together, with a winner mindset. So honestly speaking, as a first thing, this is what somehow I have. The moment I had expectation, that becomes a challenge to me. I will stop doing what I am supposed to do. So hence, I really do what I'm supposed to do first. And obviously, once I do what I have to do, everybody supports it. For example, this event to me is very close to my heart. So I took an oath on 15th of August 2020 that I will help transform 100 people, typically Indians, because it's our country, for self-transformation, because I'm a coach. And the intent was because there were corona, there were issues, and there were generally feeling of fear all around. What I can do differently, because there was a speech, because I respect the chair, obviously we respect the people in the chair. And the one key message I took from that was, we as each one of us have to do something out of our comfort zone. That can be in our job, that can be in whatever we do. I decided I will do coaching for about 100 people. That I will do after 7 p.m. on the weekday. On Saturday, Sunday, I can do about 6 plus 6 hours. Trust me, in the last about 4 weeks, I got about 7 new coaches, most of them whom I don't know. And I trust when I now reached out to you, I'll be able to look at some of the coaches, only one you all want. So this is how, what I wanted. It was my oath to myself. It was not something which I have said to anybody, because this is just a feeling that I have done something meaningful, what I can do. Then the whole world actually cooperating with me. Shubham somehow reached me through the LinkedIn, and then I said yes, and then I was in Ahmedabad when he called up, he spoke, and then you guys chose about 5 subjects. I hope you're all aware. You all, I think, voted for 5 subjects, and then I chose this. So it is you what you wanted to listen. So to me, when we start doing what we have to do with 100% ability, agility, and perfection to the best of our ability, I think everybody else does. So I hope, Nitin, I was able to answer you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. How is Utkarsh Arora is asking me, how important is business emotional intelligence going forward in a physical, digital world for a leader? So, extremely important, Utkarsh, the fact that you have asked the question, it's extremely important because we do not really meet people as often as we could in the physical world. Like we go to the office, we say hello, hi, those chai conversation, water cooler conversation, or after lunch conversation, or you can talk about somebody to somebody. That's what happens. That's how we all feel happy. You have to download everything what you have with these conversations. But now those may not be possible. I think that's where what you said, you're bang on. It's extremely important. So it's not a big thing to me. It's a very simple thing. Be human. How you want to be treated by others, if we could be that, that's all. The rest, anyway, you're all learning a lot of stuff in the books, through the case studies, etc. So it's, I think, very simple. Be what you are and be very, very original, simple, and do what you could do the best. Then Tushar Kanti, can you ask the question?
Very good morning, sir. The first thing comes in my mind when I hear about the difference between digital leadership and traditional leadership, that is that now the organization is becoming more agile and the organization is working under in a micro team and they are leading by a single individual. So the shift from a large team to micro team and how these micro teams are reorganized after completion of a certain task. Can you shed some lights on that from your experience?
Can you repeat the question? I'm not clear. Can you repeat the question?
In the era of agility, we know that teams are becoming micro. What it used to be very large in previous era. And can you shed lights on that how these micro teams are working and how they are restructuring and reorganizing after completion of a certain task?
Yes. So you're absolutely right. So earlier, if one was managing, say, 20 people, now if you are managing 5 people, it's fantastic. You still are leading a team. So the word span of control, gets revisited. So you're also right in stating sometimes, I'm using the word sometime, it's not most of the time. For routine tasks, they will be obviously, continuous, the same team doing it. But in a project environment or in an uncertain environment like what it is today or what it is going to be in some time to come, such things are going to happen. So the teams get restructured, to my mind, by what the customer wants and what the business can really afford. I think it's the affordability and what the customer is going to pay for. These are the two things that will decide. And for the person, which is an employee, what will decide is what is his attitude towards any job that comes to him. Is he saying no? Is he saying yes? Is he ready to take something new? Is he ready to learn? Because these are all things which, just by saying, if somebody comes to you who is unrelated and says, how do I do this? And then, if you are able to help, you're learning. And people notice it. Trust me, the people notice it. Today, if Tushar is the boss, tomorrow Abhishek could be a boss. Then the next day Madhu could be a boss. Then Divyanshu could be a boss. So it's a it's a rolling thing. So it's not a permanent thing. Never it was a permanent thing. Now it's going to be extremely dynamic. So hence we have to realize that it's that collaborative mindset that is going to be the key. Collaborative and learnable mindset.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Tushar. Okay. So the next one I'm really going to talk about, why is it important, the digital leadership? Because leadership is always important, because all of us are leaders. All of you are leaders. So to me, in the digital era, the one key thing, always it is important, is do more with less. Because the customer is not ready to pay for anything, because we are all, especially us, anything that comes free, we are very excited, including me. So it's not, I'm not talking in a sense of others. So I even get excited. When I go to Sarojini Nagar, that shopkeeper gives me something free, that's the excitement which we have got. So there is absolutely nothing to take away from there. So in this era, so we have to do more with whatever we are doing. So that's where the digital leadership is key. So in the sense, for example, the digital leadership example to me would be if 130 crore Indians have to be given the vaccine of corona in about 3 months' time. If we can find a solution, to me that's a best example of digital leadership. Do it with less. So can there be, say, about 13 lakh volunteers, who are from us, who from the core wants our country to grow, irrespective of where they are from, whichever, whatever. Idea is to do that sacrifice, selfless help to others. If we can find people and do that, so that's what digital leadership. And the second one I could quote in the very recent instance is the teachers. So our teachers, irrespective of the school or the college, etc., to me, they are the biggest example. I'm not talking about the companies, because companies are doing business, but the teachers, look at them. Earlier they used to go to about school about 7:30 a.m., come back about 3 p.m., but for them there is no end now. It is throughout the day, either the student calls up or there is a class. So to me, they see the transformation they have gone through. Really, I think that is what is really, really exciting and learnable for me. So that means if they can do more, some of them are all, teachers are also, to my mind, people who have spent a lot of time. They're all great teachers because they would have learned by experience. They're able to quote examples. But if they are able to change, why not we? Okay. So I think that's do it more with less. One, I quoted the example of how a vaccine could be given to all Indians in shortest time. One is the digital leadership, this one. The third one I would want you to all reflect on is on the agriculture sector. So the moment we know that the soil card which is there for all the farmers, if you could somehow digitize, it is tracked with a unique ID with the mobile of that person, and that soil card is in his mobile. This is what it is. You could actually sow these seeds, and this is the time the rain will come. This is the time the storm will come. You should put this crop, and what is the condition of the soil, how much less chemical you could use, because it's also for your family, you're eating, generally you're selling, how you can actually put produce without chemicals. So that's a big issue for us, because that's a chain reaction for health of all of us. So this is something a digital transformation can happen, and that's something which I may want you to reflect on. Then the next one, the innovation. I think that is something which is extremely important. It is always important. I'll quote you an example. So I was part of an organization, Modi Xerox, then it became Xerox. we were wanting to get Xerox Innovation Center to India. And there was our HR head and there was some business head all together and our MD. All of us decided we will get it to India. So we had a rehearsal, we did a lot of research. We had, I was heading the Six Sigma then, my Six Sigma black belt, did a thorough research. We found out the lowest number of PhD per population was our country. And obviously the competition was with Russia, China, obviously US. And trust me, the way the whole presentation did and what we did, what are the things we are doing, how transformation happened from a typewriter to computer seamlessly in this country without any glitch, all those things. And also we made him meet some of the R&D center in the country, like DuPont has an R&D center and one or two more companies. And also we made him meet some of the central ministers, etc. Trust me, the kind of articulation that went to, the kind of credibility we could put in, we could actually get the Xerox Innovation Center into India. That still is there. So to me, that innovation is A, that as an example, and B, if we don't innovate every day, somebody else will innovate and we will keep cribbing, nahi boss, wo to le gaya, usko promotion mil gaya, mujhe nahi mila. So it's not about innovating for others. Innovating for oneself is extremely important. Okay. Then the third one is to sustain and excel. It's not survive, it is sustain and excel in personal and professional life, both. Because if we do not adopt into the digital way, then, for example, my sons won't speak to me. They'll speak to me, hi, how are you? That's it. And some of the things which clarification required, my communication would be almost nil if I do not go down to that step and then read. I still cannot do because the amount of games they play, I don't play games. But still, you need to at least talk something that is relevant. Okay. And also, some of the other reality is, like, for example, the people who are above 60, who are not gainfully employed. So see the digital transformation they have gone through. I do know a lot of people in my family where they spend as much time like you are on the social media. So they see the news, they hear the music, they hear the jokes, they hear the newspaper, they hear the books. There is no newspaper at all for them in the last 6 months. So to me, that's also a digital transformation they are doing. Okay, in the personal. And in the professional life, it's like no question whatsoever should arise in our mind, because it's like every minute, this transformation happens. So it's a, that's the reality. Then the next one, to make life exciting and happier, because if we just do, no, I am a leader. I used to write only internal memo in 1989. For sending a letter, we had to write a letter with a carbon and send it by courier to Calcutta or to Chennai or to Hyderabad. So I'll say, no, I will not punch. I will not respond. Okay, somebody else will do. And where I'm coming from, I am quoting two extremes of very small transformation, but that's what it is. So if I don't do, be it so. So then you do what you like. But don't say, no, this doesn't happen in this country, this doesn't happen this. No, the team is yours. First is you first, then the team, then the society, then the country. To me, that is where it is your own responsibility. So the happiness, so I think that somehow, I don't think one can teach, but I think we all need to reflect the big why. Why we are doing what we are doing. I'm actually doing it because I'm very excited to connect to all of you. That's my only happiness at this point of time. So that's what is my big why. So then the last one I'd put in, this is my own thought, to leave some contribution to the future generation. Because if we don't do, so, all the other nations would have grown faster, and whatever growth we are having, we can have about 20-22% GDP growth, if not more. Then our next generations also will keep saying, no, this happened, somebody did this, somebody did that. We all keep discussing, and we may not be able to do anything. I think that is critical for us to transform into digital leadership, one for ourselves and for the future. We all want to be remembered at least with some positive legacy. I think that's the most important. So I'm going to take these questions in the last, if you don't mind, because it's 10:45, and I am mindful of time because you all have invested on a Sunday. I will take these questions. Milind, Satish, Hari, Deepak, Sachin, Ajinkya. Okay? If that's fine. If somebody can say yes or no. Okay. Thank you. So the last piece I have is the top. How do I do that? They're all simple. All of you must be knowing it. Without fail, any one of them, what I'm going to talk, because they are my top of the mind things which I do, which I'm stating here. They are not from any textbook, because I have no reference to give. Okay. So the first one to me is the authenticity. What do I mean by authenticity? What I am inside, I'm outside. So I don't have to worry about what I told this team at 11:1 or 11:5. I just said what I know. That's what I know. Number two, even in a digital era, when you're all on LinkedIn, Twitter, or any other medium, the key is the authenticity, because that's, I think, the most important thing for us to make that medium stronger. We don't have to worry about who is doing what, etc., because I have no control, you have no control. Do what you like, but try and be authentic, because that's what, to me, what I got from my father or mother or my teacher or my guru. So this is the only thing I got. So just be authentic, and that makes you real. I don't have any stress. I don't know if I'm stressful, say so in the dialogue box. I have no stress. So it's fine. I am what I am. Just be authentic. I think that's the first one which I would request you to reflect on. All what I'm saying is adopt what you want to do. You can amend, you can reduce, you can add, delete, research, do what you like. But this is what I know. Okay? This is not a prescription. This is just some thoughts what I have. Then the second one to my mind is a positive action. Because it's great to be authentic. So what? We can't be saying I'm authentic, so nothing is coming to me. No. So what? So do some action around it. Don't just keep discussing. At least I'm telling to myself, I'm not telling you. Don't keep discussing what is wrong, what happened here, what happened there. I don't know what happened, because I was not part of that place, wherever, whatever happened, in whichever field. So, for example, I have stopped watching news now for the last about 46 days. And I have got now about 2 hours more just to do my job. So I'm finding a huge number of hours that is, I can do what I love. So I'm not saying that you should do that, but that time which I got has helped me to do action. Just act, keep acting, because thinking is fine, but do some positive action along with that. The third one is the connectivity. I think Tushar asked this question, or someone asked the question. So what is connectivity? As I am talking to you, if I am not connected with you, it's of no use. It's of completely no use, because It's just another lecture you would have learned. So anyway, you all can learn. All these are not something which I am coming as a copyright. They are something which one must learn, small things. So the connectivity is important, whatever you do with the people, whether it is your own at home, the society, because the most important is the way we work with the people, because that's how probably you will manage the teams. Because if you are able to connect, people will do that extra thing for you. And it's not money. Money cannot get that extra thing. It is just that love. If you like me, you will do something extra, and same here. And it's not about what you will get in that, but it's just a connect. Whether it is people, whether it is customer, whether it is your professor in the college, or the past alumni, or the new age companies where some of you, I think most of you are on the 2022 batches. So you got about year and year plus to sit in the interviews. So look at what are those companies where you want to work. Make a list, connect with them. No harm. But don't expect too much about it. Connect, that's it. Because we keep learning. Understand what are the pain areas of that companies, what are they going through, how you can be the differentiator for that one small problem that company may face in whichever area, whether it is HR, logistics, finance, sales, legal. I saw some pharma student here, one of them. So anyone. So just go ahead and pick up those 10 companies and get connected. Get connected to people. Get connected to people. And it helps. It helps. And I spoke about agility, the speed. With all these, the speed is extremely clear because I may not be the best role model for this, but I do know some people because this is my disclosure, because I am not that agile. I have got 10 things to do. I do only about 3-4 things. 6 of them it takes. No, it will happen. So that's a challenge for me to still work on. But I do know people who do the 10 on 10 and then keep doing. I think, look at that best model you could follow. Then the next one is dependability, whether it is normal traditional leadership or digital, it is a dependability. It is not something which you can write in paper and get away with. In about 30 seconds, all those would get figured out in an interview. When you are getting interviewed or when you interview people. Or at home, when someone says how quickly you do that, how consistently you do it, like, whatever you may do, you might have not done those 1 or 2 things correctly at home. You're branded. You don't ever on time. You're not on time for whatever you do. You might have done about 20%, 80%, you may not have done. So that dependability factor, whether it's home, whether whatever you do, that's the most important. And the next one is very simple and humble. Be what you are. Just be what you are. For example, Ankush Patidar is Ankush Patidar. Naveen Tudu is Naveen Tudu. Shashank is what Shashank. Somajit is what Somajit is. Hari Deepak is what Hari Deepak. Can all of them be the same? Will they have the same quality? How do we expect even that? We are all differing people, differing emotions, differing capabilities. Just let's respect and also be what you are. The moment I start making up what I don't know, then that you're faking it. It won't work longer. It will create more stress to you, and that will lead to all that. Then you will have to work on how to reduce stress. Then you will have to work on one program. Whereas just be what you are. So it's your cost will come down, your maintenance cost. The next one is paying forward. I learned it from a lady called Harlina Sodi. So some of you would be, this is her pet word. So she's a coach and she's a great personal brand professional. Paying forward, what it means, we used to be taught in, some of the trainings in value for money in Modi the Rock, creating emotional bank. When I do say something good to, say, Ankush or Alan, then if I do 10 things, it'll keep with him. That's a bank. I put it in his hundi. And when I go to him, if I had to put 10, I can take 1. If I have not done anything, nothing will come out. So the most important thing is keep giving. Whatever small thing, keep giving knowledge, keep giving whatever you have to people, to whatever. Because there are a lot of things that is happening currently. There are a lot of people, unfortunately, there are a lot of people who cannot eat. There are a lot of people who need help, etc. Those are things which you may want to look at also at all point of time, not today. Even in the office, there are people who may not want to express themselves. Go and spend that 1 minute with them. You will find the amount of connect you make. Because the most important thing I have learned in my 36 years is working with people. And there is no magic mantra to it. Some people will like you. Some people may hate you. That whatever you may do, it doesn't matter. But you start liking everybody because you have to get the job done. Simple. So you be what you are and keep doing it. But when they come to you, start doing their job, you'll keep, that will keep coming back to you. So paying forward, that's the most important thing in today's world. Suppose you guys come back to me, I'll do whatever I could do. I may say I cannot do it. That's fine. It doesn't happen. So just keep doing. Okay. The next one is self-acceptance and self-discipline. What I meant was, so my father never used to ask, how am I? What is my improvement area? What can I do? No. He was a lineman in Tamil Nadu electricity board, where he used to climb up in the post and then rectify those, fuse and ensure there is electricity in the rural and urban places. He never used to ask. There was no doubt. He was just doing what he was doing. So there was no self-acceptance, from others. How many people liked my post? Who said what? So I'm not criticizing it, but just check how much impact it has in your mindset, how much influence it is having on you. So I'm leaving that point. It has on me also. So because I'm also now a current man, I'm not from a earlier era. So I do look at what's like. But then the most important thing is, how do I dissociate? Fantastic. Okay, that's it. Go ahead. Keep doing what you do. Self-acceptance, self-discipline. That's the most important. Then the next one. This is the most important thing. If you guys want to take it away as one takeaway, it's called 98% principle. This is what I learned in the coaching by a guy called Peter Redding and Amrita Singh. So in the whole spectrum of life, 98% of the things are always well. It goes well. It's going on well. Perfect. But we all have been taught, boss, look at the 2%. 100% boss, usi ko take karna hai. The 2% is what we have been taught from the childhood, from the kahan galti hai, wahan theek karo. So I don't want to blame anybody. That's what it is. Okay, whether you like it or not, we are here, and it is what it is. So hence, we start looking at, iska galti ka hai? Where is the mistake of this guy? So that guy also start looking at. So rather, if I start looking at what are the strengths of Alan, Piyush, Sarvesh, and start looking at how I can collaborate, how I can allow that and work. I just focus on what I have. What you focus will expand. If you focus on what you don't have, it will expand. But if you focus on what you have and keep starting it, that expands. So that's the most important thing. What we do as a coach, that's what we do. We do not, advise. We do not really influence the coaches. What we are taught, the coach's mindset is, I have to be learning every minute, and just focus on that 98%. And that's something I would leave you with. You can go and check whatever it is. You can write to me. I will just take this and send it to, I think I have one ID, Shubham or, the Mujawar, if I'm not mistaken. I'll send it to both of them. You all can get it. Okay. I'll send this principle. I encourage you to use it as much as possible, because that will help you today's conditions. Because it's everything is uncertain. If you keep looking at 2%, how much GDP, how much jobs will create it. What is this? Yeah? In 1984, there were no jobs. When I came in, people said, no, in Delhi, I will not get a job. I never knew except Tamil. I knew Hindi because I studied in Dakshin Bharat Hindi Prachar Sabha. And I knew a little bit of English because I read in English medium but taught in Tamil. So what? The point is, one had to struggle, one had to survive, and one had to move on in life. So I think that's a mindset I encourage you, rather than looking at what others can do, what this can do, that can do. Life is so fantastic. We are so, blessed to have this conversation at 10 a.m. and I see about 50% of you in a formal. That is something, we are in a fantastic environment as a country. So we have got, and there is no professor in this at all. Everybody is, it's owned by, it's to me a self-management conference, it's called self-managed work groups. It was, we, started it in India way back in 1996. One of my colleagues called Arun Thakur was the guy who started it in Xerox. So we had excellent results. We started cutting down, not cutting down the manager. We thought, how many managers we can have? Why can't we work? We create self-managed. That's what you're doing. So the future is fantastic. Just focus on that. Then Shubham, it's 11:01. So with all your permission, you all have to say no or yes. I know I have exceeded the time because I got 3 more. Then I will take some question. How much time we have, Shubham? You can say, or anyone can say. I will go by you. Otherwise, I can quickly close it in about, yes.
Sir, since we are so much interested in this session, please go ahead and finish, sir. Because we are so much inclined towards the session. Please go ahead.
Okay, I want some comments from all as well, because it is one view. I am looking at why or no. You can write why or no. Thank you, Shubham. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. I love the energy in this team. You guys are in the right place, and then at some point of time, I can walk up and have a cup of coffee in 4 years in a glass room in a 20th floor in DLF Square. That's where I used to work in Xerox. That's why I put that name. Okay, great. Or in Bombay or anywhere else in the country. Or why not in Nagpur? I think Nagpur is coming up well. Why not in Tier 2? Why not in Ludhiana? Why not in Jalandhar? Why not in Salem? So more than happy if those places as well grow up. Or why not Mysore? That's how probably our country's growth also can. Why not in Goa? So that's how I think the growth will happen. I'll be more happier to come and have coffee with you all for this sheer energy which you are giving me. So the next one is the resilience. So it is something which is like, how do I put it? Whatever may happen, this is one quality. If we start having it, whether it is traditional, digital, uncertainty, today it is this, and we don't know how long this is going to be. We have to live with it. For how long, we don't know, because I learned by reading something that when that earlier 1960, that whatever that virus came in, it took, I don't know, we are still eradicating polio forever. I don't know how many decades we have done. So we don't know what it is. So the best is wear mask, social distancing, don't let the guard off. If there are people above 60, be away, create a emotional quotient for them, keep talking for them, eat healthy, whatever you love, and do whatever you like, keep doing acting, keep helping others. So these are not prescriptions, these are what I do a little bit. So the resilience to come out of whatever may happen, because this is not the last uncertain time you are going through. For example, I'll give you a very sweet example. So I started working in 1985 and 84 rather, 84 July 2nd. So it's about now 36 years. I never had a feeling, except for once when I started reading newspaper too much, that was 2006-7, I never had a feeling that there was some issue. When 1991 happened, or when the Kuwait war happened, or when whatever social issues happened, or anything that happened, we never felt it because we focused on what we were supposed to do. भाई मेरे पास जॉब है, मैं वो काम करूं. Sorry, I'm talking in Hindi. I hope all of you can follow me. So I hope it's fine. Fine? Okay. So you just do what you love. Just keep doing it. If you're studying, go for it. As much as you want to do. Nobody can pressurize you at this time. If you want to learn it, learn new skill. If you want to paint, paint. If you want to do dancing, you do. If you want to do music, you do. If you want to do animation, so many things are available. And it was available even to me then, except that my mind thought, why many engineer nahi bana, I didn't become an engineer because I lost it due to whatever. Despite the thing, that's why this session is very interesting to me, because I missed my seat in NIT Trichy, earlier used to be called REC Trichy, by a whisker, because I failed in my interview on a question which I always will remember through my life. So hence, to me, it's a very, very connected conversation. So that's the resilience. I didn't know what was resilience then, but my father said, "Chalo, BSc Physics mein aa jao." So I just did it, and then he gave me some 2-3 skills because of which I came to Delhi, and then life moved on. I didn't plan too much, not too much planning in life. Boss, jo karna hai karo, karte raho, because I'm not denigrating planning, but do planning, but don't lose sight of action. That doesn't help. Whether it is studying, whether it is life, whether it is job, whether it is doing whatever you may like. You know, there is so much of things we could do. So many people are doing so many things for, poor people. And they are all very well educated people. They are doing probably the most realistic thing, which I am not doing. They are doing for others. And they are very happy. We can count crores of them. Okay. So the resilience, which is adapting to the uncertainty quotient. That's the most important thing in this digital leadership. Because, whether you read this or this much, nothing is enough. Somebody would be knowing better than you. Somebody would be doing better than you, whether it is here or outside. So the most important thing is be ready, ready to fight back under any circumstance. And word which I don't know the answer, because I'm hearing it now because of social media, called depression. It's something I don't know what is it. I don't know what is it, because why? If you are inactive, if you are not doing anything, if you are thinking about what is not there, what has not happened, if you are thinking about something what has happened to somebody or what one did. So I think it's a real breakdown of a common equation. Input plus process is equal to output. So you have to do input, and then the process and the output. If you break any of this, you start thinking. So I think that's where my suggestion and humble request through this medium to all in this, resilience is something, you have to be practical and you have to do what you like. It's not about how much we have. Somebody is unmuted. Can you all mute, please? I'll be very happy to not to hear what's happening in your home. Thank you. Just that I'll get excited to hit a coffee next. So you don't want to get excited. I'll wait for a second. Shubham, possibly can you mute them? No, you can't.
They are muted, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So this is the second most important thing I would leave you with. Whatever you do, you need to be really doing it with passion. Whatever may happen, just jump and run again. So there were 2-3 instances that has happened even in my life. So in one instances, I went into a complete negative mindset and I lost. But jumped back, so in a small way. In the next one, I lost. But I had a very positive mindset, I bounced back. The happiness quotient was high. So where I'm coming from is, you have to be resilient. And there is no real mantra to it. Just do it. Okay? Just to keep you posted, my father-in-law is logged in this. So he is the manager in IIM Ahmedabad, MDP. He's about 80 years. He has joined this webinar. So just, this is digital leadership to me. If at all there is an example. I just saw it. Thank you, Mr. Santhanam. Perseverance. So, for example, why perseverance? I'll give you a small analog example. So I don't know a digital example for that. So we were taught when I was in sales in 97 that you must put your visiting cards. Suppose I was handling a territory of Vasant Vihar, which was in Delhi. So I've lived in Delhi most of the time. So Vasant Vihar, then Gurgaon, all those South Delhi bed, then up to Karnal. So my role was to ensure all the decision-making units who can buy photocopier, printer, fax, has a Modi Xerox card, either of my sales guy or of my dealer. Simple. Go and tell them, sir, this is what we do, and fill a suspect card. Suspect card is nothing but information about that company that is relevant to me. And we used to file it and then do the telecalling, then the sales calling, etc. You'll be surprised. Some customers used to call me, say, after 1.5 years, Hariharan साहब आप आए थे, आएंगे जरा मुझे बात करनी है फोटोकॉपियर के बारे में. So I'm taking my name because it may not be my card. There could be a sales executive card. Trust me, this helps. Even in a digital era, it's true. So don't get disheartened. I connected with Hari. He didn't do anything. No, we don't know what happens. Life is just full of exciting opportunities. It could be 10 years after that. I could be of some help to you, or you could be of some help to me. So nothing goes waste. So just be perseverant. So whether it's a digital or analog, and even in perseverance, I'll give you a very small example from my current organization. One of the business units which we have, so we had to collect some money from schools because we used to give the schools some digital content, etc. We had to collect. There were about 7,800 and some classrooms, roughly about 3,000 customers. So the simple thing which we did as a team, there were only about 11 people and 2 telecallers sitting in Noida. One had perfect Hindi, other had perfect English, but with some understanding of Hindi and pure Telugu. So trust me, it so happened we all did something called project, what is that called? Something, Blues, Project Blue Plus or Project Blue. What we decided, we will send SMS, we will send WhatsApp, we will send email, we will send call, we will send a letter, all together. Letter will go once in a week for reminding them, all together to all the customers. So that it just hits them. He owes me money. It's like a pure, and we have to collect it. Trust me, you'll be surprised. So they got about 60%. Then what we as a team decided is, somebody from Andhra, Telangana will call somebody from UP. We chose it consciously because there is a Hindi understanding strong in Andhra, Telangana. So they called up people in Uttar Pradesh, and the Uttar Pradesh guy called up Karnataka or Andhra. You'll be surprised, another 20-25% happened. So then the rest of them we pushed legal, and we had. So to me, that is the perseverance in a digital era, which that small people, and they were not people like the people who have done engineer plus MBA. They were all simple graduates, and they spent time. They just knew. They will do what you say. They will know just that honesty. If you say go to the customer, they will go to the customer. They'll sit there for 6 hours. It's impossible to do, but that's what they do. Then the last one is communication. So the communication, you have to keep adapting. And if it is purely a positive communication, it helps. So I'm not saying negative communication is no, but just try and put it. That's important. People love it. If I talk anything negative, I will definitely get a no from your subconscious mind. If not here, you'll talk in the back. Okay. So it's then the last one. Vision. So what is your vision? You just create your own vision. One is what the company wants. Just create your own vision. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and just go for it. Just go for it. That's what it is. So I will leave 3 takeaways to you. 1, life is simple. 2, be a dynamic learner. 3, just act positive. Just keep acting. Thinking is great, but act. So right now it's 11:16. So I can take a few questions. I think somebody has to type the question again, because, or I go back. Is it? I will go back. 1 minute. I'm trying to go back.
Sir, I'll read out.
No. Hey, mil gaya mujhe. Okay. Milind Mavadia has asked, how does one manage or lead a team efficiently in work from home situation where monitoring is difficult? Very good question. If the team members knows why they are doing what they are doing, whatever activity, the smallest activity, if they are connected to that big why and what is in it for them, either continued job, timely salary, long-term brand, you're in a good brand. 4th, is it giving you the basic need of your house? My house it gives. If it is giving to his house, he or she better do that. So I think you need to connect with the team and lead by example. That's not a word I'm saying just as a PowerPoint thing. You have to be in the field, boss. You have to be in front of the customers. If they are going to 10 places, you better go to 12 places. Whether it is whichever way, or you do something which they are not able to do, then only they will value you. I used to value my boss only for that. So even people who are working with me also have the same right to value me only when I do something which they cannot do. It's a very tough thing, but that is why you have become a team manager. So better start innovating yourself. Okay. One is communication. I spend a lot of time with the people. I keep talking to them when I don't need them. I don't talk only for jobs. So I keep talking to them. How's the thing? You start with, always I start with that. That has been my, it takes that 3-4 minutes. How's the family? Let him just vent out anything in his mind. Let him empty. Then you start asking, he will say, acha boss, main to ye kar chuka hu. This is what I will do. I need this. So I'm not a great listener to be, stating my vulnerability, but I listen what I like, because so it's important to listen more. So I am still practicing it, but yes, listening is the key. Empathy is the key, boss. बहुत जरूरी है. Because he is in that whatever life grade, they have more trouble, because none of you, at least, none of us or at least trouble. Somebody is coming, somebody is walking, somebody is this, that. With God's grace, we're all privileged to be having a separate place to hear, listen. Those people, one room, two room, we have to respect it. So we have to probably be with that sound. Get used to that. Get used to that. I honestly did that because there were 300 people, and then that's why. Otherwise, in a work environment, I don't say anything. It's fine. I keep quiet because it can happen at my home also. So, so that's where just connect with them. The next one, how can one trust others in a digital world? What do you think about team trust? I trust all of you guys. I have no mistrust with anybody. So, team trust is nothing but you trust the team will trust you. Simple. If I start looking at why Shubham called me or why he called me, what is in it for me, what is in it for him? I am not seeing the intention behind each, somebody's action. Okay, this is one of the principles of art of living, but it just came into me. Sorry, I had no. It's a definite correlation. So I'm not seeing any intention behind anybody's action. It is what always. Like for example, when I moved into this place, my boss was not a Tamilian here, so it was somebody from Bengal, and he used to laugh. He used to say, "I understood that I'm doing wrong." I used to smile. He used to smile. So that's how my first job was for 20 days, 30 days in SA India Limited. If you wouldn't have trusted me, gone. My life would have gone because he smiled, I smiled, life moved on. Then I got a job with Aisha. Then, it's all about somebody has trusted me and then you better trust. But there is one thing which I must tell you, trust but verify. Smart guys do that. Trust but verify. Create multiple sources of information and start doing it. But don't lose the trust. If you suspect and do the verification, then you're gone because your mind is already gone into that mode. Trust but verify. So, for example, I'll give you, if you're in an order situation, there are, in an account management, we have all the levels, man, we used to call money authority need, man, the guy who was the boss, is one. Then in all the things I knew people, acha kya hua, iska kya hua, kya ho raha hai, kisne, which competition did what, all those influences you need to keep verifying and keep doing your action. So trust but verify, that's the answer I would do. Monitoring, you see, look, this is something in today's world, monitoring will be done by AI in the next, I don't know how many minutes or so. You're already monitored. People need not monitor. So for example, I have this KRA, key result area. If I don't deliver, gone. So monitoring, you keep monitoring, gone. So it'll come out. So this monitoring it's okay. You keep monitoring, but there are systems and process. Smart companies knows how to digitally monitor. So they do have the tools. But you have to create your own mechanism. But a lot of people of you may disagree with me. I don't believe the word monitoring. Because if I monitor, that means I don't trust my people. I given a job, they will come back to me. But have mechanisms where, you're there, etc. That's where your field visits are important. Your connectivity is important. That's a connectivity. वो झूठ नहीं बोल पाएगा, एक दो बार बोलेगा, फट से पकड़ लेगा, अच्छा बोलो क्या हुआ, कब गए थे. Okay, then I'm coming down. How is the vision of a leader affected in this world where communication has become completely digitized? Frankly, you see, it is nothing. It's not affected. Even if it's affected, the guy needs to communicate with the people because we need to find a way of communication. There are so many things available. you can create, say, family time with the people. That's a bonding. That's what people will do. We used to do in the earlier time physically. Now do it through digitally. Like for example, my son is in one of the big four, and then on the fifth day, they had a family day, family time, where all of us, all the parents were called. Can you believe in today's world, a company called? And I felt really good. So I'm sure that's how the connectivity happened. The leader, that leader was there in the place. How will the structure of organization change in a post-COVID world? Frankly speaking, Sachin, Aneja, there is no direct answer to this. It will change depending upon what my customer need, what my company is into. That is how the organization structure will change. And I'm not denigrating it. Sachin, क्या करना है हमें जो नौकरी चाहिए वो मिल जाए, उसके बाद स्ट्रक्चर में ग्रो करेंगे. Be ready to get into any structure. You need to become a plug and play guy, na? That's what digital is. Just keep learning and then keep plugging yourself. I think that's the answer. It will change. Dramatically it will change. But be ready. Resilience. How will the approach for sales change? Very good. This is Ajinkya Patel. Fantastic. Really appreciate this question. How will the approach for sales change over the past few decades, and owing to the adoption of digital medium without an alternative? Will it still be the preferred mode in the future, or the traditional methods will be preferred for its advantages? So, this is my own personal answer. I have no facts to add to this at this point of time. There is no research paper on this. To me, there will be a blended approach that will be there. Till the time this fear is there in people's mind, maybe a little more shade of digital will work. But mind it, this digital communication, you have to master it. It has to be, there are a lot of things that are available in the market. If you are not confident, just go and invest. Don't do anything free. But free, you may not learn clearly. Because koi be free, that's one thing which you all should be knowing. When you do learning, try and see, I'm not, the money, etc. is different. But look at value for money. But definitely look at a thing in which you're paying. But otherwise, when you're doing anything free, that database is getting exploited by someone else to do something. Somewhere you will get, you'll get you. I'm not saying no, but look at it. But learn digital selling, not tough. For example, we all have, lot of organization have done. I know some people who have done 150% growth. They have done about 98% of what February was. Somebody was on 88%. So it's on the upswing. The sales, irrespective of the industry. Maybe hotel industry could be a little, wrong one to look at. Hospitality, tourism, etc. But the rest of them have bounced back. Government office works with 100% the thing. They do not, they all come. They're also human beings. Doctors come, the nurses come. Call center people still go, some people go. So it's a blended, but सामने बैठकर चाय पीने का मजा तो है बहुत. That will not be taken away. So that will continue. Be ready. So this is where probably your excellent pedigree which you all have, and also adopting the so-called traditional method, it's good to move out. No? You're looking at some new faces, talking, learning something, all those. So to me, it will be a blend. It will not be a one fixed attitude of sales, but relationship selling is because of relationship. It is not because of, ultimately it is human boss. Selling is because of relationship, all being equal. Customer knows more than us. Anything. You all know more than me in this digital leadership. touch your heart and you will have known, boss, ये तो मैं पढ़ चुका हूँ, क्या आप बोल रहे हो? I'm sure some may be saying that. It doesn't matter, but that's a fact. So like that, the customer knows everything. So you have to talk something different what you want. Look at the page area. Look at something he's interested. So you have to connect to the customer relationship. And it's not a one day. It's a consistently conscious way of wanting to be in front of the customer and be truthful. I know it's extremely tough. People associate sales with no, that's not true. I think that's a complete myth. It is. I don't know why I strongly resist it, because all the functions say what people like on the face of it. So why only blame sales for it? All the functions say what the customer likes on the face of it, but they do in a blended way. So why blame sales for it? So sales, so don't go by that. No, it's not true. So you have to say, obviously, if I have to sell something, I'll only talk 3 things. Huh? If I talk 500 things, you'll sleep. I will not get the order. Never over-educate a customer. Just try it, because he is the boss. Boss ke saath to you have to create that connected relationship. So 1 more minute. Now I think done. Thank you. A big thank you, and be safe, and take care of your health, your people's health, and help people whomsoever you could. I hope it has been of some use. And I just want 2 last minute answers, which I didn't touch upon. I didn't touch upon it intentionally. Who is your role model? Role model Indian as a digital leader? If you could put it in the chat. I want to know the answer. Wow. Ratan Tata, Azim Premji. Ratan Tata. Ratan Tata. Wow. Ravish Kumar, my father. Rahul Dravid. Okay, I got a sense. So most of the names have gone to Mr. Ratan Tata. So see this. So this is you all saying. This is what is coming out. So I don't know how old he would be. So Mr. Anand Mahindra. So the one Mr. Anand Mahindra. So he keeps posting the Aam Aadmi innovation, if I may use those Indians innovation. It keeps coming in some form or the other in his tweets, and he responds to all his tweets personally. It looks like, because the connectivity I could see with the audience. There was somebody who did it. I don't know whether it's Mr. Mariwala or somebody. There was a this thing poll done through Twitter. Who is the most Twitter friendly? I think it was Anand Mahindra was number 1, or I don't know. I think it was that. But this is for you. I intent was to tell you, I didn't say, but it is Mr. Ratan Tata, who is humble, who is value-based, trust personified, consistent with action, is what you're all saying. And Mr. Narayana Murthy and Mr. Sudha Murthy, wow, wonderful example. Sundar Pichai. So MS Dhoni. So it's all great. So great. So now the last question. What is that one takeaway from this session? I need at least 30 response on this. Guys, please go for it. I'm sure some of you would have breakfast, tea, coffee. Okay. Upeka. Just be present. Believe in yourself. Fantastic. Be yourself. Importance of perseverance. Happiness. Calm start makes the whole process easier. Happy life. Be yourself. Be real, flexible, be humble, be yourself, simple, trust others, resilience, trust and verify. Be true to your goals in life. Don't lose hope. Be flexible. Fantastic stuff here. Devansh, it's a life is simple. Acceptance. Don't plan, just start. Shubham, fantastic Shubham Pal. Vinayak Bansal, flexibility is needed to thrive. Optimism is reflected when you have perseverance and belief in it. Don't watch negative news. Fantastic. Great. So I'm going to leave you with this. I don't know if you could see this. Shubham, can you see this?
Yes, sir, we can.
So
Just
can
a little
you?
blur. Yet we can, sir.
Okay. And अभी दिख रहा है? Yeah.
Yes, sir. It is clearly visible.
Okay. I'm going to just hold it. Just hold on for a minute before we read it out. So I learned this from a site. I'm forgetting his name is Michael, the first name. It's called mbs.com. You all can go through. So ICF Delhi chapter hosted this guy, on creating coaching techniques for about some 150 people. So I learned it from him. This is what is me, this and not that. So this is my second iteration. If you do 10 iteration of yourself, 10 iteration of yourself truly, then you will get it 95% right. So what is Hari is what I have written. So if you do this 10 times, calmly, closely, truthfully, you will get it right. So you can do it with respect to the digital leadership, because that was what the topic. So I have written about me. Can you read now, Shubham?
Yes, sir, I definitely can. Be confident and not doubtful. Definitely, you are confident about you, sir. Be a trendsetter and not a follower. You definitely are a trendsetter, sir. You are a eminent leader. Be an implementer and not a conceptualizer. Definitely. Have some variety and not follow the routine, because variety would bring this out of the box thinking. Definitely. Be social and not a loner. Definitely, sir. We could see that from the approach you have, sir.
Okay. So just to yeah, 1 minute, Shubham. Yeah, Shubham. Just to tell you, this is not a prescription for you. This is me. Okay. I have displayed me in front of all of you. So you can do it for yourself. So don't follow this. Just forget it. Just erase with a slate and वो पहले जमाने में करते थे, हम करते थे. स्लेट में पानी डालकर साफ करते थे. ऐसे आप साफ करके अपना बनाओ, original. And go to that site, learn from more. So whatever you want to do, create one for it and go for it. So you are this and not that. And it has to be a perfect opposite word, perfect, honest one. I said trendsetter and follower it on bragging. Not that I will do what I want. That's why it's a trendsetter, not by anything else. Not in a pure meaning. This still needs a lot of way to go. And when I said in implementer and conceptualizer, it means I have all along my life I have been an operation guy. I am an implementer. I am not a conceptual guy, so I have no shame in accepting it. So if I start doing something on conceptualization, I may fail. So it's my mirror. So this is a bonus for you. If you all can do it for yourself, I'll be more than happy. About 28 of you are connected to me. If you can send it, you can have a chat. Not for anything else, just for just for fun. And you can follow mbs.com. I have no commercial interest, nothing at all. I don't know him, but I loved it, and this is what it is. It also offers some 52-week transformation also. Okay, thank you all, and I overrun by about 39 minutes, and thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
sir.
Now Harshad would take over.
Yeah, yeah. Wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute. Thank you, sir, for making this Sunday enlightening and insightful one. We really appreciate your willingness to share your very valuable time to speak to the students of DOMS IIT Roorkee. Thank you for sharing your experience about dynamic digital transformation and digital leadership, for teaching us the ways of equanimity. The OPECA grounding session was excellent. The students will try to apply it in our life, and I am sure this excellent interactive session about resilience, agility, and simplicity would stay with us for the time to come. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And we too have something for you, guys.
Thank you. I'm humble.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, and be
Thank you,
safe.
sir.
God bless you. All of
Thank
you
you,
have
sir.
a bright future in whatever way you do, and
Thank you, sir.
live. Be happy. God bless you. Take care.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Really,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.